MCL News this morning, Abia State Governor Okize Ikpeazu appoints Abazure as Chief of Staff. President Muhammadu Buhari appoints Special Advisor on Finance Economy. Verbs raise alarm over possible Ebola crisis. Chelsea beats Ajax 4-1. Good morning, welcome to MCL News. I am Ruth Hams. Thanks for joining us. And Governor Okize Ikpeazu has appointed Dr. Anthony Abazure as Chief of Staff. There has been speculation over the position of Chief of Staff as many chieftains of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and aides of the governor were said to be lobbying for the position. Until the appointment, Abazure was the General Manager of the Abia State Passenger Insurance Manifest and Safety Scheme, ASPINS. He also served as the chairman of the Abia State chapter of the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, executive chairman of Isi-Alangwa South Council, as well as Commissioner for Information and Strategy. In a similar development, the governor also approved the appointment of Barrister Eze Chikamnayo as his new special advisor on strategy and communication. Eze Chikamnayo is a former Commissioner for Information in the state. In a statement signed by the governor's chief press secretary, Mr. Ebuchi Emimaka, the appointments take immediate effect. And President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of Dr. Mrs. Sarah Omotunde Alade as Special Advisor to the President on Finance and the Economy, domiciled in the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning. This was contained in a statement issued by Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Garba. Dr. Alade, who holds a BSc Economics and PhD in Management Science Operations Research, retired from the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, as Deputy Governor in 2017 after spending 23 years in the Apex Bank. She had also acted briefly in 2014 as the CBN Governor. And President Muhammadu Buhari has tasked the MMA on quality health care services. He made the call at the Second National Health Summit, NHS, and the 25th Commonwealth Medical Association Triennial Conference on Tuesday in Abuja. President Muhammadu Buhari, who was represented at the workshop by the Minister of Health, Dr. Osage Ekhaniwe, said patients are at the center of healthcare service delivery and must be accorded confidentiality and due respect. He said, in quote, a patient should have information and be kept updated on possible complication regarding his or her sickness. A patient's privacy and confidentiality must never be compromised. He said that the lack of medical equipment, poor environment, and the lack of confidentiality were capable of damaging the health system, noting that mindsets could be used to fix the system, not necessarily money. The President added, the federal government would like to open conversation with nurses and doctors and strengthen our human resources. Buhari directs ministry to develop policies on achieving SDGs, and efforts are ongoing to restrict the National Health Insurance Scheme and work with state government to enroll more people in the rural areas. The former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, retired, who was the chairman of the occasion, said he was happy that the NMA had taken upon itself the responsibility of mobilizing human resources and would add to the policy thrust of government. and the House of Representatives at its plenary on Tuesday cried out over possible Ebola virus crisis in Nigeria. To forestall that, the federal lawmakers called on the federal government to ensure proper checks were carried out at the airports, seaports, and land borders. The House members also urged the government to immortalize the late Dr. Stella Adadivo for sacrificing her life to ensure the Ebola virus did not spread from her hospital in Lagos State to other parts of Nigeria in 2014. The lawmakers suggested that the federal government should name a public health institution after Adadivo. The lawmakers at the plenary adopted two separate motions on Ebola. The first motion on Ebola was moved by Pascal Obi and entitled "Remove the Occurrence of Ebola Crisis in Nigeria." The second motion on similar subject was moved by Moshood Akiolu and entitled "Immortalization of Dr. Stella Ameyo Adadivo." After observing a minute silence in memory of Adadivo, her medical team, and all Nigerians who died from the Ebola virus, the House called on President Muhammadu Buhari to recognize the heroic act of patriotism of Dr. Stella Ameyo Adadivo and her medical team and confer a befitting posthumous national honor on her. And the Senate has confirmed the nomination of Pius Odubu as chairman of the Niger Delta Development Commission. The former deputy governor was confirmed after the presentation and consideration of the Senate Committee on Niger Delta's report at plenary. The Senate also confirmed the nomination of 14 others as board members of the NDDC. However, the Senate unanimously rejected the nomination of Joy Imebe as a member of the NDDC's management board. Also confirmed by the Upper Legislative Chamber or Tobong Ndem, who is now the Executive Director, Projects, and Maxwell Oko as Executive Director, Finance and Administration, with Odubu, Okumaba, Ndem, and Oko, Edo, Delta, Akwa Ibom, and Bayelsa are represented in the NDDC board. Also confirmed are by the Senate, Prophet Jones, Edo, Delta, Chief Victor Ekato Edo, Nogu Abia, Theodore Allison Bayelsa, Victor Antai Akwa Ibom, Maurice Efiwat, Cross River State, Olubenga Elena Ondo, Honorable Uchebu Chidebere Kian, Imo, Aisha Murtala Muhammad Kano, Ado Zabairu Adamawa, and Abdullahi Bagay, Nasarawa State. However, a nominee from River State, Dr. Joy Ibebe Lumiere, has not been confirmed by the Senate. The development, according to Nobushi, was because nominee failed to appear before the committee for screening. In cities and towns across Nigeria, it is believed that foreign products are more durable and therefore highly patronized more than local products. And this mindset is no different even in the commercial city of Aba, a major manufacturing hub in the southeast of Nigeria. MCLtv's focus is on Aba-made shoes and its patronage by Nigerians. The report.
Shoes are an essential part of dressing up, as there is no complete outfit without the right shoe. In Aba, the manufacturing of shoes is a major lucrative enterprise located at Powerline, Avera International Market. In an interview with manufacturers of shoes and other leather products, they highlight their successes as well as challenges in the business.
This Industry Powerline Shoe Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Abia State, are manufacturing high quality shoes which we are selling to our customers from Togo, Cameroon, Ghana, Abidjan, and many other African countries.
We don't have light here. We are appealing to government to help us to give us light. They say that they built this down barrier here, something that will give us light as manufacturers. Since then, they have never seen any light here.
They advise on manufacturers who put foreign tags instead of their own tags on these products to desist from the act. They also called on government to provide them with necessary infrastructures needed to boost manufacturing process.
As long as we are living as an industry or entrepreneurs, we need government intervention in terms of facilities and soft loan to enhance our business.
Some respondents who spoke to MCL News gave their opinion on the products they prefer to patronize.
I prefer Aba-made product because any product that is making here has more quality than that of the foreign one. And secondly, it will provide job for the children here, and also it will help our economy to grow.
I like Nigerian made, mostly Aba products. I like it because we provide jobs for our citizens.
It's our product, and we will have to support it, no matter how it is. It's our product, it's our handwork. We have to help each other to move our nation, our product.
All these foreign wares, I don't know how they prepare it, I don't know the chemical they use, I don't know in fact the process being taken. So they just like, they send it us here, it's been imported here and we wear. But here, we manufacture it our own.
Available information indicates that Aba-made products are in competition with products made outside the country. Also, products such as shoes, bags, clothes and jewelry, to mention a few, leave the local market for export. Amanda Carlo, MCL News.
And some buildings inside Balogun Market located on Lagos Island were on Tuesday gutted by fire. The fire, which started in the morning, created panic in the market, with many witnesses sharing videos on social media showing fire billowing from a building in the crowded market. Some traders salvaged their goods while others lamented the havoc wreaked by the fire. The cause of the fire and the extent of the damage had yet to be ascertained, with emergency workers joining traders to help bring the situation under control. And meanwhile, the general manager of the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, Dr. Femi Oshayin-Toye, has visited the scene. In a chat with reporters, he said efforts were in top gear to contain the inferno, with the assurance that the firefighters would put out the fire before the close of business. A section of the burning building collapsed on a policeman, severely injuring him while trying to control the surging crowd. And confirming his death, Mr. Olarawaju Elegushin, Special Advisor to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu on Lagos Central Business District, told newsmen that the policeman died in hospital following injuries sustained in the building collapse. And still to come on the MCL News, that the state government terminates agriculture revenue agents. Emefiele appears before Senate Committee on Finance. Fight corruption to improve the economy, Abuga urges politicians. And running 8 Nigerian children die before the age of 5. Details of these and more after the break. Please stay with us.
Infection don surface in some part of this country wey dem dey call monkeypox. This infection na from bushmeat, especially monkey, rat and squirrel. Na the fluid from this animal dey cause am o. Person wey get this infection go dey get fever, headache, back pain, rashes for all im body like chicken pox, but no be chicken pox, na monkeypox. The only way to stop this ogbonge yamayama infection na to dey stop eating bushmeat, abi any bushmeat wey don die, especially monkey, rat and squirrel. Make we try to dey wash our hand with soap and water before eating any food. Sanitizer good if you get am to dey wash hand regularly. Make all of our health workers dey use protective instrument. Medicine wey fit cure this ogbonge infection never dey, but we fit avoid am. The Federal Ministry of Health and the National Center for Disease Control don put head together to fight this monkeypox all over state. Make una open eye so that monkeypox no go spread. If you suspect any symptoms of monkeypox, make you quickly rush go any health facility wey near you. Our Oga Presido Mohammed Buhari want everybody make we dey kampe so that we go jolly in good government. Health na wet o, monkeypox na we fit chase am comot. Na Federal Ministry of Health bring una this message.
Do not deface Abia State with posters. Do not defecate on our streets. Do not litter Abia State. Do not urinate in public places.
You know chop, then go talk. What do you make me do for this one? I say, make we go do the things where we carry for heart. Now so one time. I be not been so.
Keep Abia State clean. This message is brought to you by MCLtv.
Welcome back, and you're still on to MCL News, and we shall be joining our Omaha studios for more news.
Good morning, youth, and welcome to Omaha. Abia State government has ordered the immediate termination of all revenue agents at the various slaughterhouses and control posts in the state. The Commissioner for Agriculture, Professor Ikechi Moji, in a statement made available to the press, enjoined all affected agents to hand over all documents and property of the ministry in their possession to the Director of Veterinary Services, Ministry of Agriculture. He called on the general public, especially butchers and the various slaughterhouses and control posts in the state, to be properly guided. An Abia elder statesman, Prince Akugo, has called on Nigeria politicians to come together in order to fight corruption to improve the Nigerian economy. Akugo, who decried the high rate of corruption in Nigeria, noted that the greatest challenge of the nation is corruption, which he said the government at the center is paying lip service to. Ibe Kudinda, who stated these on the sidelines of his birthday celebration, also blamed ethnicity and tribalism as one of the major bane of the society. We call on leaders to embrace themselves as one and come together to achieve a common goal despite party affiliations. His children and others who came to celebrate with him described him as a fearless, straightforward and dogged fellow who says things as they are no matter whose cause is God.
You have a lot of people that are slimy. They will come before you and say one thing and go behind your side and they need to, especially in politics. So we are looking for more straightforward in politics. Like that, more straightforward. I'm with you, I'm with you, I'm not with you, I'm not with you. We are happy to have him like this and strong. And we wish him to be strong.
We all gather to remember the best of a great man. Not only a great man, a man that who has inspired so many people. They prayed God to grant him longer life and more wisdom to continue in his capacity. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, has appeared before the Senate Committee on Finance in response to an invitation by the panel held on Sunday. Emefiele was summoned by the panel to give detailed explanations on the rationale behind the exchange rates the Airports Bank used for 3 key projects under the Presidential Infrastructure Development Fund. The projects have been funded by the Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority. The Central Bank of Nigeria's governor has sent his deputy at BBC Shobobi to represent him on Monday, but the committee rejected the arrangement. However, when Emefiele appeared before the panel, he asked to speak off camera. Journalists were thereafter excused from the room. Earlier, the committee chairman demanded to see the contract documents for the projects and why the exchange rate for the dollar to naira was at 325 naira to a dollar instead of the official rate of 305 naira in a government-to-government transaction for these key infrastructure projects. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has claimed that the former chairman of Pension Reform Tax Team, Abdul Rashid Leina, is not a responsible citizen but a fugitive of law. The anti-graft agency accused him of stealing allegedly about 3 billion naira pensioners fund in what it described as an elaborate grand scam. The EFCC said Leina is a citizen of the United States and a naturalized resident of the United Arab Emirates with an expired Nigerian passport, but has also sneaked into the country at night through the borders with Niger in Sokoto and Katsina. The EFCC stated this in a counter affidavit filed against the bail application by Leina, who is being tried before a federal high court in Abuja on money laundering related charges. It prayed the court to reject Leina's bail request because it took a lot of effort for security agents to arrest him after fleeing for about 7 years. The EFCC said it granted bail. Leina with the huge funds at his disposal would compromise his witnesses, some of whom are his blood relations and family members. The new Nigerian Demographic Health Survey 2018, released by the National Population Commission, shows that with even significant progress, 1 in 8 Nigerian children die before reaching the age of 5. The survey indicates that when Nigeria has made progress over the last 5 years in promoting breastfeeding and decreased incidence of malaria, significant challenges remain. The 2018 National Demographic Health Survey results highlights overall progress towards achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, yet a few critical indicators have remained unchanged since the last survey in 2013. The Nigerian Customs Service has disclosed that bank accounts of Nigerians smuggling rice into the country from the Republic has been frozen. The controller in charge of the Federal Operations Unit, Zone B, Kaduna, Saraki Mustafa, made this disclosure while briefing newsmen. Mustafa says the accounts were frozen in a bid to discourage the activities of the smugglers. He said service has 6 items, including 4,830 bags of rice, worth over 4 million during the period under review. Controller Mustafa appealed to rice farmers to assist officers and men of the customs to report any individual engaging in the act of smuggling into the country. The chairman of the Kaduna chapter of Rice Farmers Association, Mohammed Mumbu, expressed satisfaction with Customs Authority over the sensitization meeting. That's the size of our package from our heads. Back to you, Ruth Cohams, for the rest of the news. I'm Nora Kaffer.
Thank you, Nora. Now for news. United States House impeachment investigators on Tuesday summoned President Donald Trump's acting chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney, for the deposition, saying he has substantial first knowledge of Trump's efforts to pressure Ukraine. Mulvaney is the latest administration official to be ordered to testify, with the impeachment probe closing in around those nearest the president as it proceeds into a new public phase in which transcripts of closed-door testimony are being released. Mulvaney is the highest-ranking White House official to be summoned in the probe, although he is unlikely to comply given the White House opposition to administration officials cooperating with investigators. and the chairs of 3 House committees leading the investigation wrote Muvani requesting he appear before the panels on Friday at 9 a.m. Last month, Muvani publicly stated that the decision to freeze aid was tied to the demand for investigation. He later walked back to those comments. John Iceberg, a White House lawyer suspected of involvement in the Ukraine scandal, and Robert Blair, assistant to the president and senior advisor to Muvani, were among 4 officials who ignored calls to testify on Monday. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump has urged Mexico on Tuesday to wage war with United States help on the drug cartels believed to have ambushed a group of American Mormons in northern Mexico, killing 9 women and children. The ambush occurred on Monday in Rancho de la Mora, in an area along the border between the states of Sonora and Chihuahua that is notorious for drug traffickers and bandits. A relative of several of victims said. Julian Lebranon told Formula Radio Mexico that his cousin was traveling to the airport with her 4 children when the van was attacked and set on fire with the victims inside. 2 other vehicles were also found with the bodies of 2 women and a boy and a girl. At least 5 other children managed to escape and walk home, Lebaron said. Trump said Mexico's President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador had made fighting the drug cartels a big issue, but the cartels have become so large and powerful that you sometimes need an army to defeat an army. And out of sports, Arsenal manager Emery confirmed on Tuesday that Granit Xhaka has been stripped of the club captaincy after an emotional outburst towards supporters. The Swiss international swore and threw the captain's armband to the floor after being booed as he was substituted against Crystal Palace 10 days ago. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who led Arsenal for Saturday's 1-1 draw at home to Wolves, will take over as captain. Xhaka was not included in the squad for the Wolves match on Rangers' visit to Victoria Guimaraes in the Europa League. Xhaka, 27, blamed death threats to his family for his furious response, saying he had reached boiling point. According to him in quote, "My feeling of not being understood by fans and repeated abusive comments and matches in social media over the last weeks and months have hurt me deeply." And of course, he wrote on Instagram, "People are saying things like, we will break your legs, kill your wife, and wish that your daughter gets cancer, and that has stirred me up, and I reached boiling points when I felt the rejection in the stadium." Xhaka had only been confirmed as captain by Emery in Saturday after the Spaniard took a dressing room vote to decide on the skipper after the departures of Laurent Koscielny and Peter Cech. Let's talk in sports. Chelsea FC stunned the every football levels after its comeback from 4-1 against Ajax. Lampard made one change in the side that beat Watford at the weekend with Marcos Alonso starting at left back and Emerson meeting out of the squad. It was a manic start to the game with Tammy Abraham scoring an own goal after a dangerous cross from Quincy Promes. In the 5th minute, Joinville equalized from the penalty spot after Christian Pulisic had been brought down by Joel Veltman. But the rest of the half went away from the Blues, and Promes knocked in the second, and then Kepa Arrizabalaga scoring an unfortunate own goal. But the second half was even more poorer with Donny van der Beek making it 4-1. Cesar Azpilicueta made it 4-2 before the game completely changed as Ajax had Dali Blind and Joel Veltman sent off in 1 minute. Joinville netted another penalty before Rich James popped up with the equalizer for the Blues. Azpilicueta 30 had won it with another strike, but it was ruled out for handball by the VAR. And that is the size of our news package for this morning. But before we go, a recap of our main stories. Our State Governor, Dr. Keze Ibazo, has appointed Dr. Anthony Abazwere as his Chief of Staff. And President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of Dr. Mrs. Sarah Omotunde Alade as Special Advisor to the President on Finance and Economy, domiciled in the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning. The House of Representatives at its plenary on Tuesday cried over possible Ebola virus crisis in Nigeria and to forestall such, the federal lawmakers called on the federal government to ensure proper checks were carried out at the airports, seaports, and land borders. And in the world of sports, the British report that Chelsea FC stunned the Abbey football lovers after its comeback from 4-1 against Ajax. And that was news. Thanks for sharing your time with us. But just stay tuned for Good Morning Abia at 8 a.m. and do join us at 1 p.m. for our news update. I am Rithel Hams. To have a wonderful day.